Hey guys, how's it going? It's Michael here, back with another video. This time it's nighttime, a little bit dark out there. The sun has gone down, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about something that I've kind of been thinking about recently, and I've also seen a YouTube video recently about Vanilla Ice. Believe it or not, if anyone knows who Vanilla Ice is, he was really popular in the 90's. He had a song called Ice Ice Baby, one of the most viewed hip hop videos of all time. Extremely popular, and so this video will be kind of related to that topic, interestingly enough. So really the topic that I'm talking about is kind of the 90's. I kind of want to say a little bit about what was it like to grow up in the 90's, and how does it feel kind of to have grown up from the 90's and to be in this current time period that we're in the 2020s now. So about the Vanilla Ice video, he was saying how his video was so popular back in the 90's when everything was kind of neon colors. Everything was really bright, and before we had computers and everything. And he mentioned that it was the last great decade. And from that point of view, I kind of agree with him, saying that the 90's was the last great decade. Because growing up in the 90's, I do have a lot of fond memories of those times. I had a lot of good memories growing up with my family when I was a kid. I used to live with my parents. I had two brothers. My aunt and uncle lived with me as well. Even my grandparents lived with me at a certain point when I was a little kid. And this was back in the mid and late 90's. I was born in 1993. So I was a 90's kid for the first 7 years of my life. And those first 7 years, as I was just saying, were really like a lot of good memories from those times. I remember just feeling so like connected to everyone in that time. Like I was always playing with my brothers. I was always playing with my aunts, my grandparents. There was always people around, always people to talk to. I was never alone when I was a little kid. And it was just, it felt really different than how it feels now. And so, yeah, it was a really great decade, in my opinion, as well. Good memories of growing up with like PlayStation 1 games and Super Nintendo, all of those things. And I remember when the year 2000 came, I moved from the house that I grew up in Toronto. I moved to another city. And the beginning of the 2000s were pretty good too. I remember they were pretty good. Like we still had like the PlayStation 1. We still didn't have like the internet yet. Well, I guess the internet might have existed, but nobody really started using the internet, at least in my life, until really like 2006, 2005, 2006 is when everybody really started using like the internet. I remember I got the internet when I was probably in grade 7. So I guess that was around 2006. And I remember when the internet came out, it was really kind of like interesting at first. We had like online games, like RuneScape. We had like online little flash games as well that everyone used to play. So the internet was really cool and kind of like this exciting thing, but I also remember that there was a point when I was a kid when, you know, like before the internet, I used to go out with my friends and play with other kids outside all the time. That was just like, that's just what everybody did, right? Like no kid stayed at home by themselves and didn't go outside to play with other kids, because what are they gonna do? There's nothing to do at home by yourself. The kids want to go outside and play with other kids. So that's how I grew up, even in the 2000s. So I guess you could say that like the last great decade was even half of the 2000s, before the internet became popular. So I guess that kind of makes sense that things were really good before the internet. And then, as I was saying just a moment ago, there was a point where um, kids started playing outside less once the internet became a thing, and also once mobile gaming really became a thing. Like I remember at first kids were outside playing with like Pokemon cards and sports and things like that. And then when Game Boys became really good, I remember people playing like Game Boy Advance a lot. Like a lot of the Gen Z kids really like stuck to the outdoor video gaming. And then they grew up to do like the online gaming with their friends. But me being a millennial, I never liked to go outside to just play games. I wanted to like play sports. I wanted to hang out, you know, wanted to do like young people things like you know, exploring and riding bikes, moving around. That was always like the millennial kind of thing, I guess. But the Gen Z kids, they just were outside playing video games. So yeah, growing up in that time before the internet was like, it's felt way different than now. I feel kind of bad for kids growing up these days because they don't have the same thing that I had when I was a kid. They don't get to go outside and play with other kids that much because that's not really normal anymore. They're probably at home on their iPad or something, playing and watching videos on YouTube. So kids these days, they don't have it the same that, you know, millennials and early Gen Zs probably had it. I wouldn't even say early Gen Zs went out to play with their friends. They kind of just followed us, the millennials. Like my younger brother is a Gen Z and he only went outside like because of me. I was the one who always took him outside. Otherwise, he would just be like doing the same thing as the other Gen Z kids. So anyway, I guess you can kind of see how it was before the internet for me. It was quite good. Things felt very connected, and I just feel like after the internet came, just like I remember staying at home more because, you know, other people were doing that and there were things to do on the internet. So it's like the internet really replaced human connection in a lot of ways, and it just got way worse once we started having like smartphones and yeah, smartphones really, because I remember once smartphones became a thing, people would not be present anymore in their interactions with people. They'd be on their phone to like ignore awkward silences, or like any kind of like moment where you want to just not be present, you would just go right to your smartphone. Before smartphones, you couldn't do that. You would have to be present with other people, and there were no like ways to escape, if you get what I mean. Like, so smartphones really fucked us up too. Now we just ignore each other. We're not present with each other. I've been on dates with girls who, you know, they're not even present with me. They're on their phone. Like, it's like, man, what happened? Like, it's really, it's not a good feeling, to be honest, to be living in these times personally. I just have never felt like more disconnected from people. I feel like we need to bring back these kind of we need to be present with each other again, like we used to. We need to put away the smartphones. We need to like get outside, you know, stop being addicted to like the internet and your smartphone. And that's what like is really missing in these days, is like human connection. Yeah, so you know, like, even if you look at pictures of the 90's, things just looked more colorful. Like, there were people dressing up in like neon colors, and there was colorful graffiti, you know, think like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Those kind of colors were like popping and all over the place in the 90's. And I feel like life these days just feels kind of like, it doesn't, it's not as bright, you know? Yeah. So, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to make a quick video about this topic. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way. I'm sure people have talked about this, but like, I really have not really seen anything really being done about it. Like, there has been like no progress made, I feel, in like the last like 20 years in terms of like bringing people together again in a proper way. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, like the video, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And see you guys in the next video.